But I have to call you back in. You will help me introduce our keynote speaker. I have a little background though on him. Secretary Renato Solidum is a Filipino geologist and government official currently serving as Secretary of the DOST. Before his appointment as Secretary, he served as an Undersecretary for Disaster Risk Reduction, Climate Change Adaptation at DOST, and served as Officer in Charge of the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, which is PhilVox, which was what Tony earlier explained. But on a more personal note, Tony, would you like to introduce our keynote speaker?
Thank you. What I want to say is that last conversation I had with the secretary, I thought it was going to be a 15-minute meeting. We were talking for more than 3 hours. And I learned so much that we have a secretary that is looking beyond what we normally think should be science and technology. We talked about migrant workers. We talk about seaman training. We talk about so many things that are basic to our lives as Filipinos. So our Secretary of the OST actually goes beyond science and technology. So I'm so happy that he was able to make it today. And I think we are all better for him and the DOST being our major partner here. I should say, of course, that our other major partner is the Shell Group of companies in the Philippines and the Shell Foundation. So Shell has the single biggest young innovators program in the country called LiveWire. And for those who are interested, you can talk with us because we have a major program that is able to support both. It used to be college. We will announce that we are going to do it also for high school because young innovators are important. We do have financial resources for projects, even if they're only in the idea stage. And this is a nationwide program, and we're expanding it. At the highest level, the BCYP Innovation Awards, as many of you know, we give a 1 million cash prize, which you can use to improve your life, go on a trip, buy a car, and then your project can be submitted to us so we can put up a factory for you, help you with registration worldwide, and so on. And we've done that. We've been doing that now for 5 years, I think, although we announced it 9 years ago. It is not automatic that there's always an awardee. The other thing is that we support the schools from where the innovators come from. Because I know that spending a year in Oxford or spending a year in Israel are things that we should support. So these are the kind of things that I know that the Secretary also has. You know, they have a wonderful Balik Scientist program and so on. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us give a big round of applause to our keynote speaker, Secretary Rene Solidum.
Mr. Antonio S. Yap, founder and chairman of the Benita and Catherine Yap Foundation, or BCYF. Dr. Antonio Ramos, president and chancellor of the De La Salle Medical and Health Sciences Institute. Other officials of the De La Salle Medical and Health Sciences Institute, distinguished plenary speakers, officials and representatives from organizing institutions, guests, ladies and gentlemen, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. It has been more than 3 years since the COVID-19 pandemic hit our country and the world. The pandemic has challenged every aspect of our lives. It had caused loss of lives and livelihood, caused learning losses among our youth, and disrupted our economy, among others. As the COVID-19 cases have been dwindling, focus is not only on preventing its resurgence, but more importantly, our recovery. Critical to this recovery would be science, technology, and innovation. Innovation, meaning developing new ideas, approaches, processes, and products to produce good things in our lives. We have heard consistent good news in terms of the country's innovation performance in recent years. In Southeast Asia, we have been recognized among economies that have made the greatest advances over the past decade. We were also second in rank last year in terms of high-tech exports, which pertain to products with high-intensity research and development. In addition, in the Global Innovation Index of 2022, the Philippines was classified among the lower middle-income economies with innovation performance that is above expectations for their level of development. Although it slightly descended in terms of the Global Innovation Index ranking from 51st in 2021 to 59th in 2022, the country has still been regarded among middle-income economies, along with Vietnam and Iran, to have the fastest innovation catch-up today. This, however, calls us to reflect on the importance of sustaining innovation over time. And hopefully, this year, we will have the opportunity to outperform ourselves. Prior to actually sitting on the front table, I was actually looking around and visiting all the different exhibits of what you are doing in terms of your research and development or application of potential technologies for your medical work. And I'm very, very glad to see very good ideas. And some of the things I think will be pioneering, and it would show to the world that Filipinos can. On that side would be the IBET program of the De La Salle University. And I told them that I bet in the very near future that project will really develop new things, not only for the Filipinos, but for the whole world. I'm very glad as well that one of the projects of De La Salle, the Agapay project of Professor Nilo here, has been awarded a patent in Singapore, which would actually show to the global community, the medical community all over the world, that indeed the Filipino we can innovate. The Department of Science and Technology is such a diverse organization with 18 specialized agencies. Most of you would know the Philippine Council for Health Research and Development, but we also have the Philippine Council for Industry, Energy and Emerging Technologies Research and Development Council, which would actually also assist the medical community in your other line of work like the IT field. We have 16 regional offices and 80 provincial science and technology offices. In the present administration, I have summarized our multiple and various works at DOST into 4 main functions, and I hope that you would be able to relate to at least one of this. First is human well-being. Next is wealth creation, but very important. We need to protect the wealth that we create because of our proneness to various natural hazards and the global warming. And fourth is to ensure sustainability of our efforts and also the protection of our natural environment. First, on human well-being, we need to accelerate the generation of knowledge, technologies, and innovation that will ensure health and food security to all Filipinos, and develop a strong cadre of human resources who will steer science, technology, and innovation in the country. On wealth creation, we need to enhance the competitiveness and productivity of our various industry, like the medical industry, by ramping efforts in technology translation, meaning adoption, transfer, and commercialization. Wealth protection is very obvious, as the country is prone to various natural hazards and the effects of global warming. We must intensify the development and transfer of more climate and disaster resilience technologies and provide science, technology, and innovation-based information and services for warning, preparedness, mitigation, and adaptation. The gains that we have for wealth creation will be obliterated after a major disaster or even a pandemic, as we have seen during the COVID-19 pandemic. Sustainability needs to have strengthening of research and development for environmental preservation and conservation so that the natural richness that we enjoy now and utilize for livelihood and for our enjoyment would still be experienced by the future generation. But sustainability would also mean that we need to protect our research and development outputs through intellectual property protection and management, and integrating smart practices to facilitate more open, collaborative, and citizen-centric and digitally enabled governance system. In line of these efforts, we have 11 major programs. Foremost would be the creation of enterprises and jobs using science, technology, and innovation for regional development. Health security, and I'm sure almost all of you are involved here. Food security, water and environment, transport and mobility, energy, climate and disaster resilience. But we need to support all of this in our program of human resource development, where we provide scholarships from high school to PhDs. But what we need to do is infuse entrepreneurship in the mindset of our scholars. We also need to develop, maintain innovative facilities that can help the industry and our researchers. We need to strengthen our network of laboratories all over the Philippines by making sure that these are not just for R&D or services, but it will be a learning journey facility where one can work with us and learn from us about the instruments and what you do. We will also transform our operations and provide innovative ICT solutions as we transform the department digitally. And even before the pandemic, we have been doing a lot of systems development where we share some of our programs and applications to local governments and other national organizations. And lastly, we will also develop smart and sustainable communities where almost all the technologies that you will develop and we will develop will be shared with the local government for those who are interested in improving their governance through smart and sustainable technologies. The efforts that we do are working in parallel with the Philippine Development Plan 2023 to 2028, which is anchored on the President's socio-economic agenda that charts our output and the government's direction in tackling near and medium-term priorities for the country in the next 6 years. 3 out of 8 points outlined in the agenda center on wealth creation, more specifically on reinvigorating job creation by 1. Creating more jobs by promoting investments, improving infrastructure, and ensuring energy security, among others. 2. Creating quality jobs by increasing employability, encouraging research and development and innovation, and enhancing the digital economy. And 3. Creating green jobs by pursuing a green and blue economy and establishing livable and sustainable communities. The last item also aligns with our efforts on sustainability, along with the protection of purchasing power of Filipino families by ensuring food security, reducing transport and logistics costs, and reducing energy costs. Part of the President's agenda as well is to reduce vulnerability and mitigate scarring from the COVID-19 pandemic by tackling health, strengthening social protection, and addressing learning losses. We seek to advocate this through our undertakings on wealth protection and human well-being. Furthermore, at the heart of the Philippine Development Plan's transformation agenda is the establishment of a dynamic innovation ecosystem that involves interlinkages between and among scientists, both physical, natural, and social scientists, basic research and development institutions, product engineers, design and marketing specialists, and entrepreneurs. Our role here would be to provide a nurturing environment for basic research and development and knowledge creation, support market-driven and customer-centered research and development, scale up technology adoption that all of you are showing on the side, utilization and commercialization, and promote an innovation culture and entrepreneurship. We still have a long way to go in these areas, but we aim to act more this year in fulfilling our mandated tasks. The Department of Science and Technology is ready to facilitate the interaction between industry players, local chamber of commerce, and even international ones, so that we can have the benefit of really understanding what the market needs and how we can translate our technologies either conducted by the various local governments, research institutions, and investors, so that we can really say that we did not only improve our knowledge through R&D, but we actually created an impact to our kababayans by creating new jobs, new enterprises, improve the existing businesses, and improve the human well-being. Let us keep in mind that in order to succeed with creating scientific innovations, we must also nurture a mindset to translate these researches and scientific discoveries into something tangible that our fellow Filipinos can benefit from. I think in the medical industry, combining research and development with entrepreneurship is very easy. But in other sciences, we need to do more. But foremost, I think, in doing all of this is the passion, your heart of doing a good public service to our kababayans. We need more of the patriotic Filipinos so that we can really make the Philippines a country that has used innovation for its economic development. The scientific and health community has shown during the pandemic that indeed it can deliver the innovations that can help the country be more resilient and recover. DOST has supported many initiatives that were developed recently, some of which became useful during the pandemic. For example, the repurposed RT-PCR test kit of the Manila Health Tech, the RX boxes of UP under our telehealth program, which were extensively utilized in various far-flung barangays. And there are many other initiatives that I've seen for the CIBOL program of UP Manila and for the various works here in De La Salle. And I know that recently, as mentioned earlier, the Project Agapay of DLSU, designed to help in the rehabilitation of upper extremities for stroke victims, was able to get a patent from Singapore. Magandang balita po yun. As the famous adage goes, health is wealth. A healthy population will determine a nation's future. Hence, we at DOST is fully committed to scientific endeavors that will benefit the Philippine healthcare system. Another example of a visionary innovation is the establishment of the Philippine Genome Center, which has become instrumental in tackling the complexities of detecting variants of the virus that entered the Philippines and helped us better understand COVID-19 transmission. The Philippine Genome Center, or PGC, is mandated to conduct research and to foster collaboration and capacity building for the development of genome-based applications. And DOST has supported the idea of establishing a genomics focus center in the Philippines a decade before the COVID-19 pandemic dominated the world. First conceptualized as early as 2008, the PGC paved the way for the Philippines to keep up with the international community in terms of genome sequencing. PGC became a reality because of the collaboration between the University of the Philippines and DOST. And this is another shining example that investing in science will always produce invaluable results in the long run. Recently, I visited the Philippine Genome Center, Visayas, located within the vicinity of the University of the Philippines in Miagao, Iloilo. The PGC Visayas was established in 2019 through the funding of the DOST Philippine Council for Health, Research and Development, or DOST-PCHRD. It is one of the 3 PGC facilities within the UP system, while other facilities are located in UP Diliman and Mindanao. And during the height of the pandemic, PGC Visayas partnered with the Western Visayas Medical Center Sub-National Laboratory and the Regional Epidemiology and Surveillance Unit of DOH to assist in the national efforts for COVID-19 biosurveillance in Visayas and Mindanao. The PGC Visayas was repurposed to assist in genome sequencing for the coronavirus variants and subvariants. So here we see the collaborative effort of transforming a center intended for some other purposes for what can happen in the very near future. And it becomes a flexible center, and it is a very innovative way of doing things. Although PGC may have become synonymous with COVID-19 recently, its work on genomics research has far more applications than one can imagine. Through its highly advanced equipment, it can provide services in the fields of applied chemistry, biology, food science, material science, nanotechnology, microbiology, and bioengineering. For example, the PGC Visayas is part of an initiative to conserve the captured population of the Visayan spotted deer, highly endangered and critically decreasing in population due to deforestation and hunting. PGC Visayas also has initiatives focused on marine organisms, particularly mollusks and shellfish, which are primary contributors to the Western Visayas economy. According to BIFAR, the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, Western Visayas is 114% fish sufficient as of 2022. This abundance of fish is a great news because it means more employment to locals and food security in the region. To conclude, we at DOST consider all of you as partners in effectively communicating to the public the importance of science, technology, and innovation in changing their lives and provide them with results that will impact their day-to-day lives. However, it is not enough that we create technologies, but we must also inculcate into their consciousness these mantras. Sa siyensya, teknolohiya at inobasyon, negosyo ay kikita. Sa siyensya, teknolohiya at inobasyon, industriya ay aarangkada. Sa siyensya, teknolohiya at inobasyon, buhay mo ay gaganda. And the last will be a question for you. Sa siyensya, teknolohiya at inobasyon, mukha natin ay may pag-asa. It is not meant that our faces can be surgically improved, but because of science, technology, and innovation, and through our collective efforts, by collaborating together, from entrepreneurs to scientists to engineers to medical doctors to anyone who can become an innovator, we can help our countrymen, ang ating mga kababayan. Matutulungan po natin sila na makita ang kagandahan ng siyensya, teknolohiya at inobasyon para sa iba't ibang mga solusyon sa mga problema na kanilang kinaharap. And we will show to them, once we have translated many of these technologies, especially if we commercialize this, especially if they can use it use this even in far-flung areas, the face that we'll have is a face of hope. May pag-asa. Nakikita ng bawat Pilipino, masaya mukha nyo, radiant, dahil hindi po lang maganda at gwapo, dahil sa siyensya, teknolohiya, at inobasyon, tsak, mukha natin ay may pag-asa. Maraming pong salamat.
Thank you very much. Very much. May we ask Choli, Dr. Ramos,
Dito na lang po tayo sa
like present a gift of Tony, but two Tonys. May we ask you to come here, please? To present a token of gratitude and appreciation.
ilaw po yan.
Innovation daw yan, sir. Innovation ang kanyang painting. Hanggang token daw, innovative pa rin. Thank you very much.